never had a shot at before. I'm talking about liberals in the what are called the Afrocentric community, and I've been on some of these radio programs. And I know you're out there beating the bushes.
We just had a showing last night in Fayetteville for a Bible study, and they had about 50 people, 40 to 50 people that showed up for it, and those people were moved. And we only had one last copy of it left. And they used it, and a fellow even bought that. And one of the head deacons of the church, he said, I gotta have that one.
Good.
You know, and I mean, people were just. You know, you could hear the gasp. There's some parts that are very offensive. When they show that Planned Parenthood section with that oral sex going on, I am serious. Blacks are so offended by that.
Well, they should be.
I mean,
offended by that.
it's the whole thing was disgusting. But people are waking up. That's what it's doing. People are walking out saying, I had no clue.
Right.
Had no clue.
Well, they present a pretty picture. Even their name is nice. Planned Parenthood.
You know, we had someone call our office the other day that was up at the NAACP convention, and Pastor Kennard had handed her a MAFA 21. She promised to watch it. She came back home, saw it, was so angry, she called my office and said, do you have those MAFA 21 videos? She sent somebody over within 15 minutes to get our remaining copies.
Wow, that's amazing. Of all the things that we've ever done in the history of Life Dynamics, nothing has ever even remotely approached this. And I hadn't said anything to you about this, Johnny, but I've thought a couple of times here lately, I need to thank you for this because you're the one who told me to do this. You know, you saw it as part of this bigger book that I'm writing and said, no, you got to make this a standalone deal.
Yes.
And originally it was going to be a book, but then I think Kennard said, look, if you want to hide stuff from black people, put it in a book. So I said, that's white people too. So then that's where the thing turned into this DVD, and the rest is history. It is making an enormous impact. I've never seen anything like the way it's taken off.
Even as a youth group, they had a powerful term for it. They call it, they use Troy's term, explosive. But they said of all the videos out there that are making an impact, they had put this one at the top of the thing. Wow. And this was the youth pro-life groups. Right.
So that's where we're seeing really lots of interest on it. I want to bring a couple of people in here who are involved in it out in the community. One of them is our old buddy Walter Hoy, a troublemaker from California that for some reason cannot stay out of trouble with the law. This man is.
Everybody, how you doing?
Fine. John the Baptist, by the way.
Right. How are you doing, Walter?
I'm doing just fine, Mark.
What jail cell are you in today?
Well, currently I'm not in jail, Mark. I'm doing all right.
Well, good. Walter, we're seeing a lot of things going on in California, and I think part of it's because of your efforts out there. What are you seeing from MAFA 21 in California?
Oh, I would have to agree that MAFA 21 is a game changer. I'm using it in several ways. I'm using it one-on-one with pastors as I talk to them about the impact of abortion in the African-American community. And when I do that, they want to automatically take it to their ministerial groups. So now we're showing this DVD to about 10, 20, 30 pastors all at one time. And so we're having an awesome impact, an awesome response from this. And then we're getting it in our congregations. We've got it on college campuses. And I'm telling you, we were on Berkeley's campus, and we were participating in the CBR's Genocide Awareness Project. And they've got a picture of the Holocaust. They got a picture of a black man being strung up by the KKK. And then they've got a picture of a baby that's been aborted. Well, the MAFA 21 DVD was the weapon we used to connect the dots. They couldn't look at those pictures and connect the dots. Well, MAFA 21 explained all of that. It helped them understand how the elite eugenic tactician strategy to engineer the suicide of black Americans is the same checkbook that was paying the SS officer, the same checkbook that was paying the Klan, and it's the same checkbook that's paying the abortionist today. So God bless you for this. This is just a tremendous tool that we're using even now.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the work that you guys out there in the field are doing, because we produce the DVD, but we can't be out there. You guys are going to have to carry the water for us in the local community, and a lot of people are. And it's really starting all of a sudden now to just really grow. I mean, it kind of exploded right off the bat, but now we're starting to see the kind of exponential growth that comes from viral marketing and from, it's almost like multi-level marketing. One person tells 2 and 2 tell 4 and 4 towards 16. And it's just kind of all of a sudden in the last few days or a few weeks kind of taking on that that sense. We're truly excited about it, and I still say this thing can change everything in the pro-life movement. This changes.
There's a lot of potential left here.
Right, it's enormous. I also want to bring in another lady. I want to make the point here that a lot of times we've had people look here and say, well, yeah, the MAFA 21 thing is great, but I'm just one individual. What can I do? And you know, I don't have the access like you do, or like Johnny Hunter or Troy Newman. I don't travel around the country, and I don't have a big organization. And what we're finding is that if even individual people who don't have an organization, who don't have a lot of money behind them, can have that same kind of success. And I want to bring somebody in that's doing that very thing. Ann Norton. Hello, Ann.
Hey, Mark. How are you today?
Just fine. Ann and I have known each other for how many years, Ann? Do we even,
oh, gosh.
Do we even want to confess to that? Or
yeah, I think, well, I've been out there sidewalk counseling for about 15 years.
Right.
And you have been my supporter, and I've called you when I've had issues.
Right.
So, yeah, we go far back.
Yes, and you've now started using, the other day, Carol came to me and said you had called and gotten some additional MAFAs and said that you had tried in the past. She said, this lady's telling me she had tried in the past to make some inroads with the African-American community and had been just totally rebuffed, but all of a sudden now that you're opening doors. Tell us about that.
Absolutely, Mark. Like I said, I've been out at Planned Parenthood for about 15 years and have used the pamphlets and the little cards, you know, all along. And I just heard what Mr. Hoyt was saying, and I found the same thing, that African Americans are saying, whoa, you know, at first they say to me, well, you're making it up. And then I refer them to the website, blackgenocide.org. And one of them even came back and said, I never knew. But about 6 weeks ago, Mark, I really got a burden to really, really concentrate on this and pray about it. And all of a sudden, you know, like the Lord does, the floodgates opened. And within about the last 2 or 3 weeks, we have been, you know, people have been calling me and saying, could we have a copy of that tape? I'd like to show it to my prayer group. One of our pastors here that is in charge of the gospel mission and is also the senior pastor at one of the biggest African-American churches is going to show it. So, you know, thanks be to the Lord. It's his timing, Mark. And that's, I don't know about you, but that's what I have an issue with. But all of a sudden, he has, you know, graced us and just opened the floodgates. And the community has really shown an interest.
You're absolutely right, Ann. There is a spiritual component to this. And I think I've told this story before about MAFA, but if not, I'll tell it again. But one time during the editing of it, when Carol and Kyle Rogers and Carol Novielli were the two that worked with me on putting this together. When we were editing it all together, you could you don't really see how something like this is going to look or work until you start putting it together. Right. Up till then, all you have is a bunch of individual parts. It's not until you start putting them together that you see what the car is going to look like. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We started putting this thing together, and at one point there, we were fixing to break for lunch, and I remember I told Kyle and Carol, I said, you guys realize that we're creating something here that not one of us here is talented enough to create. There has to be divine intervention in this, because Kyle and I are not good enough music editors, and Kyle's not a good enough video editor or a good enough cameraman, and Carol's not a good enough researcher, and I'm not a good enough writer to have done this. None of us could have done this project. The three of us combined couldn't have done it. We just don't have that talent. But, you know, I think we put together a piece at the end. I think God put together a piece at the end that just on a technical level can compete with any movie that's out there, any documentary that's ever been made. And again, it was God that made this happen. It was not us. We were just the instruments that he used to make it happen. And it was Johnny who gave us the initial impetus to do it. And I am constantly, every once in a while I go back and look at a little bit of it. I've watched it several times because I've been at places where it's been shown. And I'm still amazed at how it came out. Yeah.
one of the biggest.
And I wanted to just say quickly to Mr. Hunter, Johnny, I love your enthusiasm at the end of the tape. I wish more of our pastors would speak with such passion and ferventness. I recently went to a black ministerial meeting and was completely shut out, and I thought, boy, we need Johnny Hunter to come and talk to them. But thank you, Mark, so much for you and your crew and all you've done. This is awesome, and this is really gonna. The Lord's going to do a big work in this.
He already is. He already is. Well, thank you, Ann, for joining us today, and thank you for what you're doing, and you just keep it up.
Yep. God bless you.
And I think, Mark, one of the best parts of this is there are pastors better than me, who speak better than me, and they're much more vocal. And the thing of it is, once they see that entire presentation, these are the guys that are now getting fired up.
Right, exactly. Right.
And I think we're going to see some pastors that. Oh, I think I'm looking forward to it.
Well, before.
More vocal than you. Come on.
Oh yes.
Before we go, let's bring Walter back. Walter, what's your next plan now?
Oh, my next plan is to put the California Human Rights Amendment on the ballot here in California, and my Alpha 21 DVD is a big part of that, Mark.
Well, good. I want to make people to understand that there are people out there who are swinging for the fences, and Walter's one of them. I said before, I gave Walter a quote, and I said, we got to quit nibbling around the edges of the abortion thing and start going for the jugular here. Let's kill this monster once and for all.
Absolutely. It's time to stop regulating, restricting, trying to reduce it, and let's just try to end it.
Right. Well, Walter, stay out of jail as best you can.
I'll do the best I can, Mark.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for what you're doing for us.
Yes.
All right. God bless you now.
Take care, sir.
Bye-bye.
And what you said about Mark for 21, God being in, to me, this thing is just like